Hey everyone! Okay, so I'm going to attempt to do one live video a day until I get through all of the important topics that I want to talk about regarding our beloved cats and everything to do with their health physically and emotionally. So we'll see how it goes. I'm still pretty under the weather right now, so don't mind me if I'm a little spacey and don't sound very good. Just getting over something nasty. But anyway, I got Mr. Stubbs here with me. Say hi, Stubbin. Yeah, he wants to say hi to everybody. He looks so thrilled, right? Like he always does. Yeah, he always looks so impressed. So, yesterday I did a video on raw food and what types of raw food to feed your cats and how to purchase it and where to purchase it. And today I'm going to go on the other end of the spectrum and talk about dry food. And it just still is really hard for me to hear when people are still not understanding why they shouldn't be feeding their cats dry food, or believing certain myths such as cats need dry food because it's good for their teeth and it helps clean their teeth, which is a huge myth. It was, I don't know, touted years ago, probably when the cat food manufacturers started making dry food and wanted people to buy dry food. But the fact of the matter is, dry food does not clean their teeth. It's no different than thinking that you and I could eat some Cheerios and we somehow cleaned our teeth. It just does not work that way. In fact, the biofilm, which is on the teeth, which is plaque, likes the stuff that's in dry food, which is the sugars, the carbohydrates, and the carbohydrates mix with the plaque on the teeth, and it actually is what creates cavities. In fact, if we didn't feed any of our pets dry food, they would not get cavities. There would be no way for cavities to form if we don't put sugar into their diet. So not only is it a huge myth, but it's actually ass backwards the completely wrong direction. So yeah, that's one big reason not to be feeding dry food. If you're feeding dry food and you think that it's for your cat's teeth, then please know that that's not true. Take a minute, do a little research. Unfortunately, a lot of times you can't even talk to your vet about some of these things. Veterinarians get a whole whopping 2 weeks of nutritional education in veterinary school. It's just not what they're taught. It's not what's focused on, and they really don't have, in general, most of them don't have a whole lot more nutritional education than you and me would, unless we put our time and efforts into expanding our knowledge and doing individual research, which I have for, at least the last 10 years, I guess, since I've been working with these cats. So that's one big reason. The main fact and the main point that I try to get across to everybody is to understand that you and I, humans, we are what's called omnivores. And even dogs are omnivores. And cats, however, are not omnivores, they're carnivores. Yeah, and Stubborn wants to leave. Bye, buddy. Thanks for chilling. So, anyway, and what all those words mean is omnivore means that we can eat meat and we can eat plants. We can eat both substances. Our bodies are made to digest both substances. We have what's required in our gastrointestinal system to eat proteins from animal meats or proteins from plants, and starches and carbohydrates and sugars. However, even to go back a step, even our teeth are made for omnivore type diet. We have some sharp teeth, our canines. Mine aren't too sharp, but and then of course we have all of our flat incisors and our molars, which are more for eating plant type material. So even our general structure of our gastrointestinal system and our mouths show that that's what we're meant to eat. Now, a cat, however, when we look at their teeth are what? Mostly all... Okay, didn't know how that was going to work. I got a call. Anyway, their teeth are mostly all canine-like teeth. They're all sharp, pointed. Even their molar teeth have ridges and are more sharp and pointed than how our molar teeth are. And their bodies, their intestinal system is made for carnivorism, only eating meat substances. They basically, bottom line, do not have the enzymes in their system. They don't produce the enzymes in their system to digest plant material, to digest carbohydrates. So this is why a cat in the wild, what does it eat? It eats prey. It eats a mouse. It eats a bird. It eats maybe a squirrel, maybe a duck if it's lucky. I don't know. But they eat primarily, a cat's diet in the wild would be a small rodent. And that's what they eat. They will chew on some grass from here and there to get a little extra fiber in their system. The grass, the fiber, just like fiber for people, fiber is non-digestible carbohydrate, and so it helps push food through the system and helps balance their gut functions. So the only amount of carbohydrate that a cat would naturally get in their diet is whatever is in the stomach of the animal that they just ate. So if they eat a mouse and that mouse had just feasted on a little blueberry bush, let's say, and ate some of the leaves and root of the bush and some of the berries. So the cat's going to get a very small amount of carbohydrates through what it just ate of that mouse. However, the cat now ate the mouse, who the mouse's stomach had the enzymes and the properties it needed to digest those roots and those berries. So because the cat ate that entire mouse, like they do, they eat the whole prey, they're going to then have what they need from that mouse also to digest that little small amount of carbohydrate. So that's the basis of it, is that cats just are not made to eat carbohydrates. They just can't. They just don't process it well. And if we feed them dry food, which even the very best dry food brands right now, there's some out there that I get aggravated because they are so misleading, and they'll say like high protein. And when you break it down, when you know how to look at the labels and break it down, it's still only at most like 50% protein. So that's 50% protein, the rest is all carbohydrates. So you're feeding your cat, even if you're, and it's ridiculously priced too, even the very best quality dry food, you're literally feeding your cat 50% of something that it can't even digest properly and is not doing its body any good, and in fact hurting its body. So when we're feeding them these dry food diets, even the best quality ones, they're getting products that just don't do well for their body, and it's going to lead to all of the problems that I always see all the time when people are coming to me to ask for help with their cats. Why their cats are excessively oily, why their cats have extremely dry skin, why their cats have loose stool, why their cats have skin ulcers, or lots of things. I mean, over time it can turn into heart disease, it can turn into diabetes, you know, but mostly we see things that are just caused from chronic inflammation because their body is chronically inflamed. A lot of gastrointestinal problems. A lot of these cats end up being diagnosed with like IBS and things like that because we're just giving them stuff that their body just can't deal with, and so over time it just breaks down the lining of their gut and compromises their gut function and just leads to all kinds of illness. The other big factor about why to not feed dry food is because cats in nature, they don't drink a lot of water. What cats are naturally inclined to do is they get their fluids from their prey. They, in the wild again, would go catch that fresh mouse and they'd eat that mouse, and as gross as it sounds, they would eat the blood of, you know, the stuff from the mouse, and they would get fluid through the fresh meat and the fresh kill of that mouse. And so maybe once a day, a cat in the wild would go find some fresh water source and drink some water, like out of an actual pond, lake, puddle, whatever. But mostly they don't go drink standing water. It's not natural for them. They actually prefer a running water source. That's why a lot of cats love water fountains and drinking out of our faucets that are drippy and that kind of thing. But mostly they want to get it from their food. That's just what's natural for them. So if we're feeding them a dry food diet, it's exactly what it sounds like. There's Stubby in the stairs behind me. I see him. Anyway, dry food is dry food. I mean, it's dry. There's no moisture left in it. This food has been baked to crap. Like, it's ridiculous. The temperatures that a lot of these dry foods are made at are like 500 degrees, and it's just destroying whatever nutrients, you know, were good in it to begin with, are completely destroyed, and it's dried, and then they have to add vitamins and nutrients back into it because they've killed everything good out of it and removed all the moisture. So a cat just simply you know, can't be healthy. I mean, we can't really know what they feel like, but a cat eating nothing but a dry food diet, they're going to be chronically dehydrated. Chronically dehydrated. Every single day that cat will be dehydrated. Even if you see them at the water bowl and you think, you know, I'm just full of shit, they drink their water, they eat their dry food and they drink their water, they're still not drinking enough. A cat just won't drink enough standing water to make up for it. They want that water from their food. So, you know, they probably feel like someone does with the flu or a bad cold, like how we feel when we're dehydrated, and that's how they have to feel every single day. So, you know, again, it's not the right diet for them. It's not even close to natural and what's species appropriate for them. And then that dehydration also, you know, depending on however they feel, that we don't really know, we're only objectifying, but we know it's proven by case studies time and time and time again that the cats that have recurrent urinary tract infections, you know, bladder infections and kidney stones, and oftentimes these chronic infections lead to kidney disease and kidney failure and death. And it's been proven time and time again that those cats are the ones that are fed a dry food diet and nothing but a dry food diet. So, you know, it will do harm in the long run too, and not even long run, I mean pretty short term. Not eating a good diet in a pretty short period of time will wreak havoc. I mean, I think most everyone has heard of the show Super Size Me or watched it. I think the guy ate McDonald's for like 30 days and, you know, like he went back to his doctor and did all these tests, and, you know, his whole body was like going out of whack in 30 days of eating crap food. So, you know, it really will make a big difference really quickly. So that's it. I think I hit on all the points. You know, dry food leads to chronic dehydration. Dry food is at least 50%, and that's the best foods. I mean, honestly, something like the cheaper stuff, Meow Mix, Friskies, whatever, that's like 30% protein. So you're feeding 70% carbs that your cat's body can't even handle. And dry food does not clean the teeth at all. The best thing for your cat's teeth is to actually brush your cat's teeth with a pet formulated toothpaste. You know, daily would be ideal, but at least once a week, you know, and getting their teeth cleaned professionally from the vet. That's what's going to help their teeth. So, alternatively, what should you feed your cat? You should feed your cat a high quality canned food diet or a high quality frozen raw diet. And like I said in my video yesterday, we don't advocate people to make their own raw food. Please, if you want to go that direction, purchase a veterinary approved frozen raw food diet that is good for your cat. Sorry, something just happened with my connection. I think I'm still here. So I'll do another video soon about the different kinds of foods, the different brands of canned food and frozen raw food that's good for your cat. But basically, you know, if you just look at the food and read the ingredients, you need to see like actual food ingredients. It needs to say like chicken broth, turkey liver, turkey heart, spinach, kale, blueberry, taro root, and then some vitamins and minerals, like something like that. Like you start seeing all these crazy long ass words that are all chemicals and blah blah blah, or you know, byproducts, gluten meal, soy, wheat, eggs, you know, whey protein, stuff like that. You don't want anything like that. It should just basically be meat, vegetables, tiny bit of fruit, sometimes a couple different root things, and some vitamins and minerals, and that's it. That's what they need. All right, so hope everybody enjoyed this video. I myself am going to go get some water because I'm very parched now, talking about all this crummy, dry food. All right, have a good day.